Carnosaur came out the same year as Jurassic Park. Just let that fact sit in the back of your head while you watch this review. Now, I know comparing the two movies isn't fair. The budgets, the actors, the sets, it takes a lot to make a movie. So I'm not ragging them for that. Expectations are set nice and low. So let's watch this thing. Carnosaur opens with a bunch of chickens, and we meet Dr. Jane Tiptree, who seems to be experimenting on them. Some guys pick up a bunch of chickens and hit the road. A little later, they're forced to pull over because they hear something coming from the back, causing quite a stir. They get out to take a look, and that's the last look they'll ever take. Okay, you had to get the ball rolling somehow. Not sure that this was extremely effective, but okay. Elsewhere, we meet Doc Smith, who's not actually a doctor. I'm not sure why they call him that. He works security at a gravel pit, watching over the vehicles, protecting them from a group of local hippies who hate that they carve out the earth. One of these hippies gets caught, Anne Thrush. What's up with these nicknames? Anyway, due to Doc's incompetence, she manages to get away. The next day, Doc and Sheriff Fowler, I get it, Fowler, like chickens, good one. Anyway, they head to the compound to identify the girl, and although Doc sees her, he doesn't rat her out.
No.
I guess he has a thing for her.
She's not here.
In return for not arresting her, Anne gives Doc a friendship necklace and explains that the reason she's so passionate about the area is that it used to be a dinosaur highway. Millions of years ago, all sorts of dinos would travel along this very road.
It's good to remember how small we are.
I thought that's what mirrors are for.
Now to some randos out jeeping in the desert. This guy gets out to take a leak and gets attacked first, getting taken out by a little T-Rex puppet. I don't know what they were trying for here. Maybe a Godzilla reference? Now we meet Fallon, a scientist? Or maybe he's a CEO of some company. I'm not really sure. Here he's trying to suck up to the senator to get him to approve a new kind of blueberry pie that he's been working on. A pie that would have a shelf life of 8 months. All thanks to a coating of embryonic fluid.
Get the senator some water.
Now back to Dr. Crabtree, who shows her true evil side. If there was any doubt on who the bad guy of the movie is, it's obviously Dr. Tiptree. This poor guy comes in looking for his daughter, who apparently had some genetic research done to her. Dr. Lockpick here tells him that she's still alive and he can go see her. But really, it's just a trap to feed her pet T-Rex. That night, the hippies are back, and this time they chain themselves to the equipment so it won't get used. Big mistake for them because it makes them that much easier to eat.
Greetings, green brother.
Only Thrush is spared because, well, you know, main character. Doc sneaks over to the lab and holds Dr. Love Tits at gunpoint, wanting to get to the bottom of all this dinosaur business. Also, there's a fever going around that seems to be affecting all the women in town, including the sheriff's family. As if the rubber suits and bad acting isn't an indicator that you're watching a B movie, well, maybe this will be. Clint Howard. That guy never says no to any movie. Here he's eating a bucket of chicken while checking up on some chickens. How ironic. No, it's not ironic, it's idiotic. The Carnosaur attacks from the ceiling, ripping his head off. Doc isn't really getting anywhere with Dr. Niptree. That is until her assistant comes in, sick as all get out. She takes a closer look, seeing what she wants to see, and explains that her body is an evolutionary battlefield. That's right, Dr. Oaktree here's rewriting everyone's genetic code to turn them into dinosaurs. Well, that's not really accurate. She somehow made it so every female gets pregnant with some dinosaurs, killing the mom in the process and making a new species of human dinosaurs. A Carnosaur, if you will. The government finds out about Lovetree's work and isn't too happy about it, jumping into action, setting up a quarantine zone, and killing anyone who's sick. It's pretty brutal. Dr. Elmtree thinks that the world was made for dinosaurs. Her goal is to give it back to them. Not wanting to end the world, just humans. So basically she's nuts. She does say that her mentor was Dr. Moreau. So that's a cute reference.
Well, as my mentor, Dr. Moreau, said.
The government gets together to talk worst case scenario. In 10 days, 34% of all females will die giving birth to dinosaurs. That's a weird sentence. In 6 months, half of the human species will be eradicated. They talk about their options and know that it's too late to come up with a vaccine, so they move on to an alternative method, artificial wombs, all bred to be immune. Interesting. Meanwhile, Doc talks to the real doctor about making a serum, and it seems like she has something, although the jury's still out on if it works or not. Satisfied, Doc makes his escape, but comes face to face with the caged up T-Rex. He manages to get outside and into safety, but it's only a matter of time before this dino's on the loose. Meanwhile, Dr. Tiptree seems to be getting all fevered up herself and ready for her role in all this. Just like every other female, she has to give birth, dying in the process. Doc makes it to Thrush, who's just about to give birth and die, but he gives her that injection just in time, saving her life. Good thing, too, because he's gonna need all the help he can get. The giant T-Rex is heading straight for him, walking down the ancient dinosaur highway Thrush talked about earlier. They fight the monster with all the heavy machinery, which actually ends up being very anticlimactic. I don't really know how they make dinosaurs and construction equipment boring, but here we are. In the end, they win, and passing out while Doc gives the final blow. They radio in that they're still alive and they need help, and the cavalry comes to shoot them dead and light them on fire. And that was Carnosaur. So bad it's good, or just bad? Well, I would say somewhere in between. I do wonder how in the world they managed to make 3 sequels and 2 spin-offs though. The movie just isn't that good. Obvious issues aside, there are glaring plot holes. I think that dinosaurs were originally bred and spread through chickens. That's why we had all the chickens in the beginning. Then why don't the dinosaurs have feathers? It's like no movie can get that right. But deep diving into this isn't worth it. It would seem like the cast and crew did their best, but with a budget of $850,000, almost $1 million, they should have come up with something better. Would you believe that Carnosaur is based off a book by the same name? And just guess who acquired the rights to make it into a movie? Roger Corman. Does it all make sense now? Carnosaur has its merit, and it can be a fun movie to watch with friends, if you have enough alcohol. But if you go in expecting 5% of what Jurassic Park is, then I think you'll be disappointed. I give Carnosaur 1.5 puppet T-Rexes out of 4.
I heard that kid you found is all carved up like a Christmas turkey.
Christmas turkey's right. I heard it was some sort of psycho cannibal job.
You've been watching too many of them Italian zombie flicks.